Hey everyone, welcome. This is the October 8th SIG Node CI meeting. I'm going to start off with test triage. We don't have any agenda items today, so we can just jump right into triage. Nice. It's the number of failures. Our SIG node release blocking. Okay, this one's on the newer side. Sophie, have you happened to see this one?
I think we had this one tracked. I believe I was assigned to it. I haven't had the time to work on it because of the caps and stuff.
Totally. Yeah, that's okay. It's relatively new. Right. Might not have.
And it was a different bug that or different issue that I was talking about. It was again device plugin issue, so I thought that would be the same.
Do you have an issue or you're just tracking it?
There was an issue. I can look it up and
Great, thank you.
on the chat.
Yeah, as long as it's tracked somewhere, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, so we have on our team, Niraj is looking at this one and in this one, same bug, I presume. Slightly different thing, but yeah, so hopefully we can track both of those issues in the tracker Swati has. Okay. Yeah, and the this PSI one, my team is tracking and working on. Okay. Same. Going all over the place. Okay. This one, I don't know if we have some slightly different. Or maybe similar. Is it this one? This is the one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Right. Cool. How does that in text differ from this? Oh, it's the same. Why is it tracked?
But I think that if I recall correctly, it fails in one of the nodes, and I was wondering if I have put a comment there, if I'm not mistaken about the container D version or something. That
I don't see a comment here, but also the containerd, like it's also affecting cryo, so I'm not sure precisely the containerd versions.
Okay, that's good then. Okay.
Yeah, Paco had left
So
a
it might be
comment
something.
saying that the flake kind of frequency had reduced, but again, it looks like it still needs investigation.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. That's okay. Which this one is it? It's grade 5. Early down during terminations should terminate successfully. Might reopen this one since it's flaking a little bit here and there. Let's see how many flakes we have. Yeah, it's been flaking intermittently for a little bit, so. Yeah, okay, so we're still tracking these failures there. Yep. Cool. And these are flaky. They're pretty consistently. We even call that flaky at this point. I guess it's, what's the 2 out of 3 mean? Retry. But eventually pass.
I think I wish Kevin was here. I think he explained one time what it means. I don't think it retries. It's like some different configuration, but I can't quite remember.
I remember
I agree.
the artifacts, you can see that it passes for like 2 OS images and the third one it doesn't. So it's just like different.
Totally. That's okay. Yes, thank you. So it's like combining multiple OS images within the same suite. Yeah, so that's still failing. Let me check if we have anything on this. Oh yeah, we got it. Cool. Yes, okay, both of these we're aware of. Right, this one. Yeah. That's a lot. I feel like this might have just been a bad PR more than anything else. Yeah. Yeah, so that's just, I mean, well, oh, this is not serial, then it might have disrupted the other test. So I'm not going to investigate that too much right now. I hope that it's just this PR. Hasn't been run in a while. These look like new, relatively new or tests that have only been run once, which is kind of odd. I feel like they're like someone's adding something new. I'm gonna wait till there's more instances of these failures before doing something about them. Why does it look like this? I don't like that. Okay, that's our device plugin issue. This is that. Okay, cool. That's just failing. I'm confused. Do we expect these to be passing? I'm gonna open an issue for this. I don't see one. Okay, cool. Does anyone here want to look at these issues? This one? That's okay. Okay, so that is our test grid, which everything seems to be in. We're aware of all of the failures. That's good. Next up, I will do the CI board triage. Bunch of things to triage. Let's resize. Okay, so it looks like
Somebody is looking into that, right?
Somebody said they want to. I'm not sure that the investigation they wrote up is really that helpful. So if anyone else wants to like also look into this, please feel free. Otherwise, I'll take a look when I have time.
Yeah, you can add me, Natasha. I can take a look.
Yes, please. Thank you.
thank you. I also set it to important soon just because it was listed as like something that we should try to get to before GA.
I think we should root cause it before GA, but I suspect I just did something stupid writing the test. So yeah, that's all.
All right, sounds good. Okay. I just opened this, didn't I? Yeah. Okay. Well, this flake is pretty intermittent, or it's 2 or 3, so I'm not super pushed to make it higher priority, but I'm open to it if other people think so. Anyone here want to take a look?
Yeah, I can take a look. And I think last time I fixed some other issue related to the same problem.
Great, thank you, Karthik.
Yeah, thanks.
Did I open that? Yeah, okay. This looks like more of a code change, so maybe we track this on the other board. It's also kind of like a big overall project work.
Yeah, test related portion of it is whenever we will enable all alpha, we now will enable all beta as well.
Makes sense. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one, I think. I think that this one was probably for, well, this looks good. I will give this a little review. Here. Oh boy. Okay. I think this is more of a code change with a test, so I'm gonna archive it. But
Code change. And it's SIG networking mostly because I need to decide which IP we need to use for HTTP props on host network.
yeah. The code change, some tests.
Yeah, this is from me. This is related to this group. I'm making Linux only tags strongly typed, and then as the next steps, we want to do more of it. Like right now, we have this caps pouring in that doesn't support Windows by default, and we want to make sure that it's easy for all cat authors to mark their tests and not be worried about Windows too much.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. I'm gonna set it to.
Patrick already reviewed, so it's working. Yeah, whatever need review. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is a feature promotion. Get out of here. This is a bug fix, but I don't think it's in this group. I do owe this author another review though. Status similar.
This is clearly a test, but it's work in progress, so we can put in work in progress.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know like how much of it is a node because it's CRUD operations. So theoretically, it's more of a scattering.
Yeah. Yeah. I was in that funny middle area. Oh, cool. Great. I'm gonna take a look at this.
Yeah, I don't know if Evgeny is on the call who started this, but now there are more people looking. So yeah, please take a look as well. This is cool.
Let me see here. This looks like it would be a code change. Yeah. Straight dependency change. You were supposed to be moved. Code change. Oh. And this one I just opened minutes ago. Kind of gauche to set your own triage, but if anyone else wants to triage that, I think it's acceptable. Okay. So that's good. I really do remember last week we were like, we definitely next week are going to do something. And I forget what that thing was. Does anyone remember what we were like putting off, what we put off last week?
No, I don't.
Go for it.
Maybe I'm making it up. Okay, well, I will yield the floor to Natasha, unless we have any other CI related. All right, on to bug triage.
Can you give me a screen share?
Yes, done.
Thanks. Okay, there's only 9, so hopefully we can get through them all. Okay, first one, timeout waiting for systemd to create kubepods burstable slice.
Yeah, this we discussed it last week. So I did the tests, so I confirm, and I think I have a question in the end. Yeah, so from Kubernetes point of view, it's expected behavior, and what they propose, I think it sounds reasonable, but we need to discuss it here.
Can you give me a summary? What's the like? What is the current behavior and what are they proposing?
So 2020 they added like 30 seconds timeout in run C. So it's not something that from kubelet we can do to avoid this. So it's actually expected behavior what's happening when someone when systemd for a reason it uses more than 100% of the CPU, like more than 50 to 70%, then this timeout kicks and then an error is being exposed to kubelet. And then this, if you add it more and more, then you will have the delays that the person who created the report has mentioned. So what he's suggesting is that perhaps it's good idea for Kubernetes to check also the systemd CPU usage and add it in the node pressure, because systemd might enter this situation. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds like a feature to me. Are we okay removing kind bug and changing to kind feature?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
So again, the problem is that systemd is consuming too much of a node CPU.
When this happens, then run C timeouts will occasionally report to kubelet. So before it was 1 second, they didn't have this timeout. But then if you click in this run C, you will see exactly in the description. So they were having a race condition. So this is why they have added this 30-second. So it is an effect. And systemd occasionally can go to very high percentage, even for other reasons. Like I checked in the systemd logs, there were some bugs with time, and in the past there were some occasions. So, but we are speaking about process 1. So I guess if process 1 starts having problems, I guess it's expected everything to melt down.
Okay, so it's a recoverable error. So we'll have timeouts and then we will recover from that.
Exactly. Yeah. The only complaint in this PR is that it was taking seconds to create pods, and then if this happens, and I think he tried to create hundreds of pods, and then he was complaining that it will take more time. It was a very good analysis before, also in the middle. I mentioned it in the last post. So I just confirmed in the latest release that the same behavior. So it ends up to run C in the end.
Yeah, I don't know, priority-wise, it should be a feature. Okay.
Okay. I know we don't really do feature triage in this meeting. I'm just curious, do we have a process for that?
No, we generally don't. We just expect people to either come and fix the issue or come and create a cap for this.
Okay. Sounds good. Oh, I stopped sharing my screen. Sorry. Okay, the next one. Oh, this is already accepted. Hang on. Give me 1 second. Okay. Here we go. Missing downward API mounted volume in the init container intermittently. It's a really long pod spec. Okay, so we said it needs information and was not reproducible, and there's no response from the reporter. Can we just close it, or should we keep waiting?
I think wait another round. Maybe put it in triage needs information. And then either the bot will sort of put it back, or we can go through it.
Okay, that's already labeled needs information, so I'll just move it to the, it was in the triage column, maybe we just forgot to move it, so I'll just move it over. Pre-stop sleep continues after PID 1 exits. this new? Okay, there's some discussion. Okay, expected praise.
So the expectation from them is that pre-stop will terminate when container is completed?
I think so. So, yeah, they expected pre-stop sleep to end when PID1 and the pod exits.
Yeah, I don't think that's a promise we give for pre-stop. I think it's
Yeah, I think
quite
it just
opposite.
gets reparented.
Sorry, Peter, what did you say? I missed it.
Right. I think it just gets reparented to system D in that case. Like if the PID one if it's a private PID namespace and PID one exits, then the process gets reparented to PID one in the host PID namespace, which would be system D. So yeah, I agree that I don't think that there's any expectation that we do this.
Okay, let me try to summarize. Actually, let's see what they say. Does this mean anything to you guys? It's surprising behavior, given that it's different from this other pattern it was intended to replace.
I think we can we'll leave it there, the discussion to continue and see how it goes, because I have a feeling it's a special case that they are thinking. And I think that there is also with this SIG term for the containers, there was one, I don't remember, there is one way to do it. I can check it if you just, you can put me in CC and I can check. I remember something, it was developed some time ago. But I don't think it's related with us. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. I'll let you triage it offline then. Okay, pod ready to start continues condition gets flipped to true after image pull.
Yeah, it was just reported yesterday on a Slack. We have one of the caps introducing new pod ready to start conditions. It was introduced to understand how long CSI and CNI take into configure sandbox. We wanted to GA the feature, but somebody reported this bug and we're now investigating this bug. I would say let's triage accept it because we have multiple reports. And priority, I would say backlog because of the beta. But you can specify that it's backlog because it's a beta feature. If it were a release feature, probably we may have better priority.
Okay.
But Sergey, is this a blocker for GA or?
Yeah, it's a blocker for GA. We probably will keep the cap in state. Yeah, it's already discussed on enhancement that
Okay.
I even retargeted it to beta.
Sounds good. I feel like I just saw my comment disappear. Okay, there it is. Okay, if it's being discussed on that cap, then I'll just leave it the way this is. Okay. High throughput container logs cause kubelet log rotation to hang, leading to unbounded log growth.
This version is pretty old, but I would not be surprised if it still functioned this way.
I vaguely remember somebody telling me this, but I don't remember if it's a bug we fixed or it's existing behavior.
I think I looked at a PR that was trying to fix this, but it's not linked here, so maybe I'll take it up.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how we will fix this PR. Like, how would we? If Kubernetes is not given enough, if kubelet is not given enough bandwidth, like CPU cycles, how will it even keep up with logs?
But does this, Sergey, this fast, high throughput of write, I mean, does it link anyhow with the hardware, the disk, and these kind of things, like IO stat and yeah.
Sergey, do you think if you could consider implementing a rate limiter, but what that rate should be itself is a problem.
This
Yeah,
has
but-
actually been like a kind of a fundamental problem that has been reported with like basically like because the kubelet and CRI are doing processing of the logs, like their ability to do so is like partially dependent on what the behavior of the container is, which is like not ideal. But it's just been this way for so long. There definitely are like optimizations that could be done, but it would kind of take a more thorough revamping, I think, to make that happen.
Yeah, so this is the proposed PR that I think I briefly looked at. Improved rate limiting, high throughput detection, priority processing.
And those logs are written by runtime, right? Or it's directly from container? Because maybe we can communicate to container D that something needs to be slowed down.
Well, it's both. Yeah, like the kubelet processes it after, but like the runtime is the entity that like takes the logs and writes in a specific format to the file. So it both the kubelet and the runtime like process the logs.
So one option would be to, beyond just saying which folder to put it, like also tell where to, like what kind of rotation to apply.
Yeah, I mean, the rotation does come, the kubelet is the one that triggers rotation, and it does so reactively, but tells the runtime then, okay, it's time to rotate this log, put it in a new spot. But that doesn't, like, that's still subject to both the runtime and kubelet being throttled because they're like doing too much processing.
Yeah, but if runtime is throttled, it wouldn't write those files, right?
Correct. Yeah,
So
both of them are
theoretically, we can
subject.
move responsibilities to runtime.
Yeah, except the kubelet is the one that has to tell the runtime. Ultimately, like I think that this is like a fundamental problem with the way that the CRI logs are being done, and would kind of take larger work to like make work better. Because like the fact that the runtime is in the process of like processing the logs, it is subject to this sort of these problems.
Does this PR solve the issue?
Yeah, I was gonna ask if someone wants to review the PR and see if it solves the issue in an acceptable way.
Can
Yeah,
you
but-
switch to PR on your screen?
But
Yeah,
I
this
have
is the PR that I'm sharing.
But I have a question. I mean, cloud native design patterns with sidecars and other things to handle logs. Is it applicable also here, or it has not been considered here?
A sidecar, well, it depends on how the sidecar is hooking into the logs. If they're looking at the file, which often is the case, like often in Kubernetes world, like the logs that the kubelet tells the container to, or the runtime to log the container's logs to, is where then like end log processing things get the logs. There aren't like log streaming options currently. Which means that any sidecars that are like processing those logs would get affected by the kubelet struggling to keep up with the logs or react to the logs getting too large.
Okay, thanks.
So this PR solves the issue, at least if it works at the kubelet, so you don't have to change anything in CRI or containerd or cryo. But my worry is it's introducing a lot of things like rate limiting, high throughput detection, priority processing. Should this be driven through CAP, or although the change is small, if it does what it does, I'm not sure.
I agree with where you're going with it, where it feels like the scope of it is too large to just be a bug fix. And I also think that it's potentially not the right direction, and we may want to do a different fix. So I think discussing through a CAP is probably the best route.
So it sounds like we agreed that it's an issue, but that it should go through CAP. Does that mean it should be kind feature?
I think it's still a bug.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think handling it a bit would be a feature. I can see what you mean, and it's like it does toe the line between the two, but unless we can come up with a way to fix it that would feel more like a bug fix, I think it would look like a feature.
Okay, I agree with you. Assessment.
Okay, let me just write that down. Priority backlog. Like, I don't know if this is important. It sounds like it's existed for a long time.
Yeah, this has been the case forever.
Okay, I think that's everything. This goes here. We have some time, so I can go through the needs information. We had just looked at that one and that one. So let me start here. Okay, issue with the page. Configure a security context for a pod or container. Latest comment is a month ago that I can't reproduce this. What do we do if there's been no updates? Do we just leave it the way it is and move on?
Yeah, it eventually will rotten and be closed. If you know for sure it's not an issue, we can close. But if we still have a slight chance that there is possibility of a repro, then we can keep it around.
Okay, I'll just keep it around then. Next one, service showing terminating pod and endpoints in Kubernetes 131. Okay. We asked them in August for more information and there's no reply.
I think it's the same thing. Like just keep it around.
Okay. Liveness probe with an error. This one's triage accepted. Did we just forget to move it?
I think we just didn't remove the triage needs information. Or rather, sorry, we added triage needs information, but did not remove triage accepted.
Okay. Trying to figure out when did we add needs information. Okay, it was in 2024. So this is reproduced. It kind of sounds like a real issue based on like all these reports.
Yeah, but they are using exec type or TCP because there are known issues with exec types. I mean, it correlates with the container runtime, correct? Can we check this? What it says some liveness are flaking. Are those all exec probes or?
I think I mentioned it as a example of liveness prop can be failing. Like we are not completely sure that liveness props are bug free right now.
Okay, I just want to clarify, like if it has been reproduced with non-exec props, because from my experience, exec props they have a limitation. And
They say it's HTTP probe, right?
It says
in that comment. In this comment, the first line says HTTP probe.
Oh, here.
no, it
Even,
says
even
this
in
is
the description, it says as HTTP. They're doing a health check on HTTP.
okay. So it says HTTP. Okay,
Yeah.
then, okay. Thanks.
They did some testing, switching from HTTP to exec in the description.
I'm inclined to leave it as triage accepted. I don't know. We have plans to fix this. Okay, no one's saying anything, so I'm assuming this is okay. Okay. Grab the next one. Pod is stuck in terminating. This is probably going to be our last one. Volume not registered error. Let's see what's going on. Okay, no updates since July 2024. I'll just leave it there and move on. Node health check issue. Oh, this is kind feature, so let me actually just remove it from this board. A huge page unable to map backing store for SRAM. Okay, looks like we assigned Francesco to look into it. I don't think he's here. Let's see. Maybe we can wait for him to take a look before we come back to it. Okay. We have 1 minute left, so let's quickly take a look at this one.
I think it is a known issue. It just I don't know if it's a bug.
Yeah, I think we have discussed it 3 weeks ago, and as I said, in version 2.1.4 in Containerd, they have fixed something which relates. So then I have asked them to reproduce it. So it was a known issue in Containerd, as I say there. So if you click in this PR, it's very interesting there. This 1.2.1.2.6 of the Containerd, they described exactly this 1.2.1.2.6.
Okay. I think if you feel pretty confident that it was fixed, then we can probably just close this. Or do we want to wait to see if someone can confirm?
Let's close and ask to reopen if they feel it's not.
Okay, and we're at time, so I'll stop sharing.
Thank you. Bye. Oh, did
So,
we?
bye bye.